Couples Court with the Cutlers.
Good day. We are here for the case of White versus Gunnels. You all are married. You've been married 2.5 years.
Yes, ma'am.
And you all met in high school and reconnected. Is that correct?
Yes,
Correct.
Your Honor.
Miss White, can you tell me why you brought your husband here today?
Because I want to know if my husband cheated on me after I had my baby last year.
So why do you think your husband cheated on you after you had a baby?
His past behavior that he had.
I was weak at that time. I was trying to fill a void, and that's the past. You got to let that go.
Are you in love with her?
Yes, I am.
What are you here to prove today?
Today that after May of last year, I have been faithful to her.
So the last time you cheated was a year ago.
Yes, sir.
All right, he's saying that. Have you believed him?
No, ma'am. The actions that he showed me, it's like he goes out with his friends, don't come home until 2 a.m.
So this marriage is on the rocks.
Obviously.
If it comes back today that in fact your husband has not cheated since he last told you that he did, are you going to be able to put the past behind you and move forward?
I want to build trust with him, but he doesn't give me that assurance that I can trust him again.
Look, love, you don't throw a house up in one stone.
Yeah.
You take one stone at a time.
Yeah.
And if he's been in the game building stone after stone for the last year, then that foundation is slowly being laid. I'm not asking you to say, oh, I'm going blind. I'm just saying you got to give a brother a chance.
Yeah, but it's just I'm hurt from everything he's done.
That's right, Your Honor. That's right.
So, Mr. Gunnels,
Yes,
do
Your
you
Honor.
understand that your family, your home, is at risk today?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm really here to clear the air and assure her that I'm not doing those things.
Miss White, at one point, you loved him.
Yes, I did, dearly.
Okay, I reviewed your case file, the things that you filed with this court, and I saw your wedding video, and you all were happy.
Yes,
you were
ma'am.
very
Yes,
happy.
we were.
Tell me about the happy times.
The happy times I can recall, he'd give me flowers. I wasn't used to that. So I have the petals I saved.
It's very sweet.
I have them here.
And those are the petals that he gave you when?
3 times. It was one just because. The other one was on Valentine's Day, and the last one here, it was for my birthday.
All right, I understand that. I have the flowers, I have the yellow roses that Mr. Cutler gave me, our first Valentine, and that would have been February 1983. I still have those, so I understand about that. So you loved him.
Yes, ma'am, and it was a time he walked 4 miles in a snowstorm to me.
All right,
And-
that's what I'm talking about.
That's true, Your Honor.
I was surprised because I wouldn't have did it for him.
All right, she's telling the truth. Can't condemn her. Can't condemn her.
But Miss
No, I
White,
believe it.
okay, you're holding on to those rose petals. That means you're holding on to something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think deep down, you really do want this to work. You're afraid of being hurt,
Yes.
okay? And that's understandable. In a relationship, that risk is always there. But if you got somebody on the other side who's trying to take the steps to rebuild the trust, you got to meet them. You got to let them take those steps.
Yeah.
And you got to meet them halfway there.
And that's what he's here trying to do today, to help rebuild the trust.
However, he's only entitled to that if he hasn't breached her trust in the last year.
True.
And so that's why we're here today. Tell us how the trust was first broken. Tell us about that.
I found out that he had sex with this young lady. She had texted me. She told me that she needed to tell me something that was involving her and my husband. And so she was like, yeah, we had sex these past 3 Mondays. I was like, let me put my baby down because I had my daughter in my hand. And so she told me everything from he got her a job at his job, which I had no knowledge of. And he walked right through the door, looked at her, shook his head, walked to the bedroom. I followed him and told him, what are you running for now? Your secret is here, so give me the truth.
Wasn't running.
I told him, hey, I don't want to be with you. You can leave with her, and that's the end of it. later, she started playing on my phone, sending weird text messages.
There was a reason for that.
She was still in love with him, all this other stuff. They're gonna, potentially get together. And, I have the text messages to prove that she was texting him.
While she's giving you that, Your Honor, I also want to tell my side of that story.
Let's look at the text messages, because I think this may help us.
This is a message from the other woman. You told me I was special to you, and when we had sex, you felt so alive.
And so, Mr. Gunnels, you wrote, y'all playing, bro. Too grown for that. Sad.
And the other woman replied, I don't want your wife to get my number, so I made this account.
Mr. Gunnels, did you have this text exchange with this coworker?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so you had sex with this other woman?
Not during that year, no.
Okay, but you have had sex with this woman while you were with Miss White?
Yes, that was the first occurrence.
So, Mr. Gunnels, you are here fighting for your relationship, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you end up sleeping with a coworker when you're a married man?
At that time, the other woman would make me feel like a man. She would not emasculate me. Jalecia had a problem with letting a man be a man.
He showed me a man, I wouldn't have to do that.
Okay.
And I totally have this whole year.
Okay, what was this other woman doing to make you feel like a man?
When I would do something for her or, just give her a compliment, she would validate that, well, I like the fact that you're doing this for me. Jalecia, on the other hand, she did not validate me at all for the things that I did. Working 7 days a week, I laugh at 70 hours.
This is all for affirmation?
I laugh at 70 hours.
So let me ask you this. How did you meet this coworker? You said you got her a job, so you didn't meet her at work.
Mm-mm.
Technically.
No, actually.
Actually, me and the other woman were having conversations before I actually got serious with Jalecia. I was just kind of scoping the scene, seeing which woman would be the right woman for me.
So you saw that she was the better woman, point blank?
At that time, yes.
All right, but you couldn't let the other one go?
I did, Your Honor.
No, you didn't.
For a certain amount of time. And
No, there's a difference between letting go and just kind of holding the rein loosely. Mm-hmm. So you didn't let go, you just kind of was like, I'm not gonna hold tight.
Her name is still White. We got married by court and at the church. Why is your last name still White? Your last name is supposed to be Gunnels.
Not exactly. I sat there and told you that if you can stick 2 years being faithful to me, I would change my name. What did you do? You cheated.
That was before.
Embarrassed me.
That was before.
Negative.
We had already fixed that situation.
Negative.
Okay. Your Honor, we had already.
So you telling me that from day one, when she decided not to take your name, that emasculated you.
That's
and started you down this track of feeling like she didn't see you as the man.
That's part of it.
I was using his phone, and a message came on his phone, and it said, "What's up?" So I was like, "Who is this? I don't know this person." And so I texted the person back. I was like, "What? Like, who are you?" And they was like, "Where he at?" And I was like, "What?"
What?
And so I scrolled the page down, and I saw a picture of her. She had on like a bra top and some shorts.
Okay, well, do you regret the affair or do you regret getting caught?
I honestly regret the affair because I felt empty inside. Your Honor, man to man, when you work and come home, wake up in the morning, go to work, and do the same thing every single day for about 2 to 3 years, you tend to become desensitized.
Okay, you talk to somebody who's been married for almost 30 years, who's worked in the same profession, the same job for the last 30 years with the same woman. I mean, so when you talk about, being robotic, I mean, that's not an excuse.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I mean, you said man to man, so I'm just talking to you man to man.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, man to man, that's what men do.
And wait a minute, how many hours do you work a day, love?
Many. 12, 14, just depends on what's going on.
For real?
Yeah, I mean, every day.
I understand.
Saturdays, Sundays, the work has to get done. So, yeah, it is a grind. But you knew that going in, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so, I mean, man to man, you can't use that as an excuse.
All right. I think we've heard enough testimony on this part. You have a lawsuit in this case as well, Ms. White.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell the court briefly about that?
Yes, ma'am, I can. The confrontation I had with the young lady at his job that was sending text messages to my phone, I was just so fed up with it. So I went up there to her and I said, hey, I'm tired of you sending text messages to my phone. And she was like, yeah, I plan on doing something else with him again. So I muffed her in the face.
You did what?
You did what?
I mushed her in the face.
Okay.
You gave it a hand.
I have the evidence from my window being broken weeks later.
As far as the retaliation,
Weeks
if you
later,
her in her face, right?
I was taking my son
I am
to...
not-
Hold on, Mr. Gunnels.
I was taking my son to the zoo. However, on our way to
get
the
that
car,
right, please?
on the way to the car, I noticed that my window was shattered.
How do you know she broke out this window?
She later texted him and told him that, yeah, I broke your wife's window because she's not going to get away
She
with
did
hitting
not.
me
She
in the
did
face.
not.
And this is the woman he was cheating with?
Yes.
She did not.
Okay. All right, did you replace the window?
No, sir.
Did you get an estimate to replace the window?
Yes, sir, I did.
And that's for the total of $700?
That's what he was going to charge me.
Okay, and you think he's responsible for that because of his infidelities?
Yes, sir.
As Ms. White has explained it, her window got broke because it was in retaliation for her mushing a woman in the face. And she mushed a woman in the face because it was a woman she confronted. And she confronted the woman because you were sleeping with this woman. Okay, you see how that chain goes?
In the past.
You see how that chain goes? It leads back to you.
I mean, you follow the line, it ends at you. But what kills me is legally, we can't hold you responsible for it.
Because it was done by another person. So we're going to have to dismiss your claim. But that still leaves us with the love suit.
And what we need to establish is whether or not you have cheated in the last year. So we have ordered a polygraph test of you, Mr. Gunnels, and we have the results.
All right.
At this time, the court would like to call certified polygraph examiner Michael Williams. Ron, would you please escort Mr. Williams into the courtroom?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Williams, how are you doing?
Doing good. How are you this afternoon?
Doing okay. Good to see you.
So in this case, a polygraph was given of Mr. Gunnels, is that correct?
That's correct.
And he was asked, other than the infidelity you admitted to your wife, are you currently having sexual relations with any of your co-workers? What was his response?
His response was no.
What did the polygraph exam show? What did the polygraph exam show?
There was no significant physiological response, which is an indication of truthfulness.
That's all I'm trying to say, Your Honor. That's all I'm trying to say.
Mr. Gunnels, you were asked, since May 2016 until the present time, have you had sexual intercourse with anyone other than your wife? What was his response?
His response was no.
What did the polygraph indicate?
There was no significant response, which indicated he was telling the truth.
All I'm saying, Your Honor.
So I'm gonna say this to you, Ms. White. Forgiveness does not erase the past, but it does pave a way to your future.
Yeah.
Can you forgive your husband?
Yes.
All right.
Mr. Gunnels, you came to court today to prove that you've been faithful to your wife over the last year.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you've proven that.
Yes.
But it's not over. I don't care how emasculated you feel, how much of a grind it is, man up, because that's what life is.
And Your Honor, that's exactly what I'm about to do as of right now. Me being a man and doing what I needed to do for a year, and you're constantly emasculated and look like the bad guy. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know how to play the victim. I don't know. Jalecia, I love you. But I feel like I'm not ready to carry on this relationship. There might be a possibility for something in the future, but as of right now, no.
All right, if you listen, a person will tell you exactly who they are. He just told you.
Yeah.
You deserve, as Aretha Franklin said it best, R-E-S-P-E-C-T. So, let him go. We have resources with this court to help you forge a wonderful life. And as we say in this court, do not cheat yourself out of the opportunity to have a happy, healthy relationship. And you can do that without him.
Yes, ma'am.
Court is adjourned.